Hi to all our viewers, this is a continuation from the last video. Following on from our meeting with Claire, we proceeded back to Marion's house to try to speak to someone regarding our housing situation. As Claire could no longer assist us, we didn't feel we were getting the sufficient help we needed. We were offered an appointment with Phil Windle, a housing manager, to attend on the 2nd of August. Attending this meeting was myself, partner Phil Windle, and a senior housing advisor, Kelly Simpsons. Here the recorded meeting, which they were unaware of.
Last week?
Yes, a couple of times.
Yeah. So do you want to tell me a little bit about what you're trying, kind of what the problem is?
Where it all begins because it's like we've been in the council in Fancy, so we phone in, we get different message from the staffs. And when I speak to one lady that actually, spoke to and says, "You're not supposed to be in this band, you're well overcrowded." Because we are actually having kids with health issues. And we just after the council and everyone we call it is giving a different message.
Right,
so we have to
seek
an advice from different agencies that telling us what we need to do and what steps to be taken.
But we should have been telling you that. Neither to different agencies, you know.
I'll be honest with you. We're not happy because that Friday was her birthday. We're supposed to get a phone call. We haven't. We came in here. We spent most of our hours on our birthday here. That evening, we end up in hospital. 2 days with evidence we can supply you with. Your staff report, they're telling us that government has not provided you with actually no money for you to actually allocate as a house. We have to. This is something we're not happy to be honest. If we're happy, I don't think when we have as a human being we are, because our son, the doctor told us that you caught this early.
Yes, he's got asthma. So the same day, a few days we were telling him we have a son with really bad asthma. He's been in the high dependency unit before, being admitted twice, had to stay in a week. And the same Friday we mentioned it again last week, and we ended up in hospital again, which we have documentation to prove that. Yeah. And they've said you caught it early this time.
No, what has happened? Because it's been going on for a while. Yeah. If you ask me in a polite way, I'll say, you know what? Council been so inadequate dealing with our case. That's all I put to yourselves. Because something that is your job, because we pay work and pay tax. The parents that our kids got they work and pay tax until they all died. But when we want a support, when we seek a refuge and you actually point to someone, what is that? Because the council is pointing to the private landlords, which I mentioned to Claire. That's our only option. Yeah. I spoke to Claire. I said, Claire, he said, because your option is private landlord. Can you put it right? But nobody would.
Right.
So I said, do you know what the problem? Why we want to cancel this time? Because we've been claiming as black people we cannot be rehoused by private landlords. And why? Because they don't take black people. And Panorama, we're actually pointing in the direction where you can find this evidence. Yeah. Panorama actually, for one, to listen to us and look into this. Investigate to go into the landlords and they find out why it's there. If you want to see, not that I'm telling anyone to go and have a look.
No, I think I've
seen it. It is there. It is there. So, this is not an individuality which we come into your sister field. Can we have a house from your house? It's a council with an umbrella for civil servant. But do we got any civil or any service from yourselves? No. And we have to get that from independent bodies. And other one that advising us what our right was to read. We have to drop our house that we live in a back to back, no windows, cancel our case in council. We're in court with our landlord on the 20th of September.
Private, you're in at the moment.
Private, no ventilation. We live in a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, it's a 4-bedroom. We're currently slated 10 kids in 1 bedroom because there's bug infestation in the house, some carpet worms, which we didn't realise, so we can't put our kids up there. So right now, we're basically living in a 2-bed back-to-back house.
Right. No, we thought we could deal with it ourselves, but we find that it's bigger than what we thought. We move in there, we spend probably about £200 on actually chemicals to kill it, but we find that it's bigger than that. Yeah. So we have to get council involved, and we have to actually... And we have to sue this landlord to court for all the things that we are right now as a case in. So now we're working around, we're going everywhere, trying to find a private, we couldn't. No. Which now we give up that. We actually send, our council should actually, this is their job, or what they're telling us. It doesn't make sense when you actually read into Gov. I mean, at the consultation, that's actually about the green paper, and then the white paper, when you look in there, what council are actually telling us this. We have no funding from the government, we have no money, but the rent the government is collecting bill and it's selling. So we saw 7-bed, which a friend of ours, the director in Chapeltown, which we actually bid for.
Now that was a 6-bed.
No,
this is a 7-bed, so it can't be.
Oh yes, sorry, I do a mistake myself. We bid for 6-bed, but that went because we're in Band C. So now there's a 7-bed there, which actually is on the Hammer, and a friend of ours that lives on that neighborhood who used to live in there, they said that's actually empty. So we just walking past, we spoke to the builder, yes, but it's not finished yet. And now he's making a joke and telling our creator, my God, I say I'm not part of that.
Council's claiming that this property, which was advertised the 6-bed, which was by Housing Association, because I remember it, because I remember saying no pets.
Yes, I have yes.
They said they're claiming that this house is a 6-bed, but the guy that's working there says this is a 7-bed.
And the neighbors, we know it's 7-bed. So no, this house is there from the evidence we have got. So we are actually.
Yeah,
this is
a 7-bed.
It does say 6-bed.
Mm-hmm. That could be the one of the beds just too
small for
a way between 6 and 7.
So no. What did you say? But that was small, he says.
Yeah, you have bidded for that property.
And what number is that one, sorry?
It says the 6.
What number is that?
36.
Yeah.
Okay, is that? Would you say that's gone?
No, I'm not saying it's gone. I'm saying that's a 6-bed property.
Yeah,
so maybe the 7-bedroom is just too small.
So they might not
qualify.
No.
So you guys, we go up 6 and 7, can't you?
No, we drop our number down to 5.
Yeah.
So 5 between 5 to 6 and 7. Right, so this actually is a suitable house. This house is a suitable house for us.
When's the bidding closed?
Just have a look now. It's still in void, so it's still.
Yes, that's what we're told. It's still in void, so it's not been so. We're told that we can request it because I know a friend that works in council says to me you can request for this, and that's what we put a request on.
Yeah. Okay. What kind of, based on your severe overcrowding, based on the health issues with the children and the standard of the property, I'll increase your priority to Band A plus?
Yeah, but sorry, Phil. I do really appreciate that the house is avoided still there. What I'm saying is like now, we like to know who is there to be actually fitting them, because that our situation today, that house should be ours, because
we need urgent housing.
We need urgent housing, and we're Band A plus. We could be Band A plus and just a number there, and there's no disrespect, but this is the reality.
We could love that house today.
What was it? Not today.
We don't allocate the housing. We look at the priority award.
Okay.
Enable people, each local housing office.
Okay.
The allocation. So by giving you that Band A plus, what that means is you're ahead of everyone who's got Band A in the city.
Okay. So can we? What I would say, because you can't give me that house, and you says it's a 6-bed, but
that's what's advertised.
That's what. But we have a different knowledge from what you have, because we can check things about housing where they are. So if you say you can't give us, we want things in writing, because to be honest, Phil, we
but it's in void, so
it's in void.
It hasn't been allocated, so I'm not saying you won't.
Well, we were told last week it's been allocated.
I can't give you the keys today.
No, I'm not saying that, because
that's what I'm saying when I say
in principle, we can accept it. If you look at your own side, in principle, we can. And then it depends, it's up to us, then we can look into understanding, but in principle, we can.
But even by law, there's no reason why we can't be allocated that today because we're classed as homeless. We can put in an application for
we don't want the key
homelessness
today because we know there's work being done. We know that. But in principle, we could accept the house from yourselves because we are coming here.
Because we were told actually last week from one of your colleagues that they says sometimes they don't put these properties up. They'll just allocate it to those with high need.
No, but it is on the council's website as well. It is there. It is written there. In principle, you can accept.
So without even putting it up to bid, you can offer that.
As, you can offer it to us.
The local housing office.
Yeah, but who are you? You are the deputy manager of the. You are the area deputy manager
for Leeds Housing Options.
Yeah, for Leeds Options. That's online. What we will look at. And who's the lady? I'm sorry, dear.
I'm
team leader.
Yeah, team leader from Housing Options.
Yeah,
all right, because it's like what you're saying. When we phone, it's like when I phone in here. Even speaking to your staffs, I spoke to someone. You're giving. Is it by you? Can you give me your name when I ask your name as a council officer?
Can I give you?
Yes, if I ask your name, you can. No, because it's recorded. Everything's recorded there. Now, when I asked to speak, as I was speaking to someone, and the way he was actually talking to me, it's like this is his personal business,
right.
And I demand his name, and I said, "Can I have your name?" He says, "I'm not obliged." I said, "Can I have?" But you asked my name. I gave you every detail you want from me. Yeah. So, as a civil servant, you should be able to take your name. Even the police, I could take the details.
Yeah.
So he's telling me that I can give you. I'm not obliged to do so. And this is recorded, and my phone is recording as well. I'll be honest with you, because when I speak, it records.
Yeah.
So this is how we've been dealt. So that's why the advice we have got, they said to ask you to put everything in writing, because it's like you're actually throwing us. Whoever we spoke to, we came in and some telling us different messages. We had an appointment, and on the way we're here. And Claire, someone phoned and said, "Claire said can't help you anymore." This is the council staff I'm dealing with here. Right. This is the things that we can actually have knowledge of. Sorry?
That's not great from our side at all.
It is not from anyone's side, because if the table was other way around, and your kids, I've got 3 kids that are actually in serious health conditions. One, my son, has actually got arteries that can swell, and
and he's actually registered partially sighted.
So we are actually trying to get help, not from the individual, but the council throwing us.
Yeah. Well, I don't see it as an individual thing.
Sorry, can I just confirm? You've got 10 children?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah. I'm not saying Phil, you said that, but the way we've been treated, we have to seek advice. I mean, from other agencies and from other people. And I know a friend that works in council that's feeding me information, telling. So I don't need to read everything that the council's rule, but now you're forcing me to do so.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing my kids dying, I'm coming here, it's like no one cares. So this is the way we are.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
And the letter, just to back down, because this is the big letter, we got a letter from the doctor that actually, so the birthday, 29. We end up in a hospital.
No, this is the other song with the.
Oh yeah, which one is that?
No, this is the right one. This is he has to go to hospital.
29 yesterday, 63 days. So we end up here, and I was just telling the Claire, it is actually we have in evidence. I'm telling Claire, so I'm saying I've been coming and I told which of the lady, Rebecca. Rebecca says like. We are coming, it's like nobody really care what we're saying.
Yeah.
But we say these are kids that are great citizens. I mean, they actually dwells in this city, which the country have a duty, responsibility to help these kids to actually be rehoused. But ours is like words of the entrance of the tales when we're speaking to you lot.
Yeah.
And we end up in hospital, which is quite sad. My wife's birthday we spend it here in the hospital when we can help you a phone call 1 time 6 weeks. And that's how we end up getting band A. That's council.
Yeah.
So if he says you can offer us in that field,
no, but
I would.
It's in void.
I understand.
So it hasn't been allocated.
We don't want it. We don't want to keep.
It's been allocated. But you are actually topping the list.
Now, what we wanted to.
And the property. So when this comes up, we'll be offered it.
Well, you've already bid for it. But because I've just put the Band-Aid Plus on now.
Put a direct let on as well.
Yeah.
So when is that property looking to be ready?
We don't do anything with regards to the properties. I can chase it up for you.
Well, that property has been all renovated and everything.
I think it's been empty since February.
Yes, when we look online, we can see that from January actually, and from 2000 and I think 2000 and
2021, isn't it?
20, no, before, from all the occupants been living there.
Up until 2021.
Up to 2021, so it was actually become emptied from January. That's what it says online.
Yeah.
And then they probably handed the notice.
Yeah.
So from
the person that was in before you had been in that property since 1969. So it's probably needed a whole new renovation in the property, because I'm assuming that it's
1969.
yeah, so they've been there, so that's the last, and then from 1969 to the 31st of January of this year. So it'll probably have needed a lot of work doing in that property.
Well, actually, I spoke to I can agree with what you're saying because
So where are we in the list?
I'm just having a look.
No, it's in the top, but we can sign this in principle.
Right,
yes.
to know that on the top, so that when that property is ready, then we'll be offered.
No, but right now we need they need to speed something up so move, because I don't want Moses and my son to die.
No.
I don't want that. And you couldn't say, no one could tell me that. The doctor, we spoke yesterday, said we're cutting time, because I've seen it 2 occasions that what happened. That I've got other son that actually have a heart. Actually, I mean, this is things that I'm doing with evidence. That's why.
That one's in there as well.
That's in there as well.
Well, it's not only his height, it's partially sighted.
So we're not happy, Phil. If you say we're happy. And what Claire telling us, I'm saying I'm trying to get back to work. I can't afford the rent just $3,000. And that means I'm going to stay. I want to stay poor all my life, because I'm going to have to get benefit because I can't afford that for $2,000.
Yeah. No, I do understand your frustration.
No, we are frustrated. If anyone can understand that you're not a human being, you have no heart, because we are coming here crying, our son. And that evening, when we went to an hospital, which again, who can tell me, if he says he can't feel me, I can say no problem. It's not it's not compulsory on you to actually feel me, but I can say your heart is cold.
Yeah.
I can say that as well. We all have opinions.
Yeah.
If the property had so much work, why would people bid in January for the property and knowing it's not got work? Because we were told by somebody else that they won't put that up until it was ready.
That's a void. That's actually not.
This is like 7 months now.
Yeah.
I think because of the COVID, it's taken a lot longer than normal for us to do up the properties.
I think repairs, the backlog on repairs is quite high, to be honest.
But the problem we have got here, but we actually, urgently we need rehousing.
So we'll try and find a timescale on that, Omar.
Yes.
Ready.
Okay, please, yeah.
But what does that mean? Does that mean we've been offered the property? Or?
In principle, let them just find what they're finding for us. Then we take it.
So I can send out the company you come and top. I can speak to the housing manager who does the allocation. You're down for a direct let, so if it doesn't go through the bidding, you're in the best, you'll be offered it directly. You top with the bidding currently for that property. I don't hold the keys, so I can't say to you that property's yours.
So you're basically saying that property's ours then?
No, but
I don't hold the keys. So
I know you don't have the keys, but with us being at the top of the list from the noise that you know.
There should be nothing to suggest it won't be.
It won't be, so that's what I'm saying.
I can't say it will be because it's not mine. They're not, if I had the drawer full of keys, I'll give you the key now.
No, I understand that. When I'm coming, I understand that in everywhere you go in the world, there's actually people in ranks what to do. So I'm saying you are the deputy of the housing. So you put us in that. We want it in the writing, and if anything to suggest that we're not having we want that in writing as well.
Yeah. Well,
and the reasons for that.
And the reasons, if we're at the top list, so in that kind of principle, it's ours. That's what you're telling us.
Put that in writing today, no problem, if you've got an email.
But they say these properties can be accepted in principle, so I don't see why this can't be done today, even though the property's not ready, if we're at top of the list.
We can speak to the housing office, but again, they're questions I can't answer because I don't manage that stock.
Is there someone in to speak from the housing office?
And we want to know why.
Leeds Housing Options, Kelly speaking. Hi, I'm alright. Can I give you a call back, Mark? I'm just in another call at the moment, is that alright? Alright, thank you. Say that again, sorry? Okay, so before 1, yeah, I'll call you back. Alright, thanks, Mark. Bye.
Who's the housing manager for that area, Kelly? It's Chapeltown.
It's Chapeltown and Meanwood Housing.
2. You don't need to see it. Do you need to see this one?
The priority's already been up. We've done it now. Why are you doing it?
That's fine then.
It's definitely down 5, 6, 7, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
I used to,
I've already got it. So yeah, it's like you said, they're bonded out. Okay, so it's fine.
what I'll do is I'll find out who the area manager is, and then I'll copy them into the email that I send you and ask them, can you give us some timescales on this property? And then you've kind of got their details, they've had the question, so they should come back to all of us.
Yeah, the time
Yeah,
is fine, but I
well-
want to know that in writing that we'll be off. This property's ours. That's what I want, because that's fine. But
because if we're the top of the list, Paul, you're saying, if sorry, Phil, sorry, if we're the top, if we're the top of the list, and in bidding, and we're in Bamford, this should be given to anyone, and if they said no, for whatever reason, they said we want everything in writing, but what you're saying to us here, what we discussed with you, we want this in writing before actually we take a next step.
Yeah,
Please,
yeah. Do you have an email address?
yeah, it's
I'll just grab it. Have we got it?
I'll take
it should be
from
on
you.
mine. It's
Should be on there,
Rachel's.
yeah.
It's
Let me
yours.
just double check. I think we've already got it. Is it Rachel Skinner 64
At gmail.com.
gmail.com?
So I'll send you an email when I go back to my computer, send you an email with everything we talked about, give you the housing manager's details, and then you can either contact them direct if you want to ask, what you're saying around.
I'd rather see him face to face
Yeah,
rather than
yeah,
over the
because
phone, just
I
with
don't
the
love the way
experience.
I can face
No,
face like we are, that's the only thing.
They're not doing first. That's what they told us. But the problem with that is like every time we call, they said you even to get hold of them. That's so we're gonna come back here again and to see something probably your boss as well, because the reality is happening here.
We don't allocate the properties on our
I perfectly understand that.
We're at the top of what we can do, so you coming back to see me, my boss.
I perfectly understand. I perfectly
You can
understand.
do, obviously.
I perfectly. You know the thing.
I can't do anything above and beyond kind of what I can do. So
But okay,
I don't want to waste your time.
These things are below. These people are all below you. Am I right or wrong in saying that?
Yeah.
From the
person I'm going to contact
is below you.
It's my equivalent in
Okay.
allocations.
Okay, now okay.
They oversee the whole wedge of the city.
All right. So what happening here? We can't get hold of those people. It's not. We haven't tried before.
Yeah.
What you try to tell us. Now it's just speaking to. When I spoke to a lady yesterday, when I was supposed to have a Claire Friday, when I was supposed to have a appointment with Claire, and Claire never told me, let me down. And what has happened, and she phoned me, said, right, I'm coming, I saw him welcoming here. And 20 minutes before the appointment, she phoned me and said that Claire says he can no longer can help you. So I went and spoke to you and myself and asked you what we can sing. I said, no, I'm welcoming. That's how we got home with yourself.
Yeah.
But prior to that, we tried to speak direct. We work in the council in Chapeltown, and they actually gives a direct number for them, and we tried that. No answer. I tried several times, no answer.
Yeah.
So that office is closed, and the reason is that again is something maybe I had my own opinion. Other people can give their opinion, but what I'm saying here, Paul, we need a house, and we cannot access those people. You can't get to them on phone. You can't go to the office, but we can come here and speak to you. Also, you can say I'm doing all that I can, but what I'm saying to you, I can't force you, but there's a law in places that there's other ways we can actually take. So that's I can't force you saying that you can tell those people to give this house up, but from yourself you say the house we're the top list, and the house is void and it's on the hammer at the moment. So I can say why we couldn't accept in principle and you should speed up our process for us to get into this house.
Yeah.
I can say what's difficult about that
For me.
From any side, because you're telling me that we're the top. There's no one above us.
Yeah.
Now, why should it be any different from yourself and your equivalent who I'm speaking to?
Because I don't allocate the properties, they do.
I understand perfectly what I'm saying.
So I can tell you that, but you're saying why can't I tell you that property's going to be?
No, I'm not saying that.
The final decision isn't with me, and then if something happens and the control's out of my hands, and you don't get the property,
No,
then
you
I've just kind of led you.
no,
on
you
to it.
done what you do. You're done. From your perspective, you tell me that this is my stop. This is my termination. That's what you're telling me. So I have to move you onto my my equivalent that actually can give it to you. I understand. I perfectly understand that. But what I'm saying to your equivalent other manager that side, I can't get hold of.
No.
I can't speak to him on the phone. But you're telling me I put you on top of the list. You're on the top, not one above you. So in reality, you're telling me that this house should be yours. It's yours. That's what you're telling me. Because if there's no one before, if there's actually we're following the rules, then this house should be ours. Should be ours. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I'll make contact with the named person, not just the departments, and I'll copy you into that. So you've got the actual my equivalent who gives out the properties.
Yes.
You'll have their direct contact details rather than a phone number for the department.
But why can't that just be sorted amongst yourselves? Why do we need to go
That's
and
what I'm about
chase
to
the people?
say.
Because I don't think that's
We
something need to
hardly
do
can
with
get what
everything we need to do.
my partner just support, but that's what's in my head.
And I'll do that then. I thought you were doing you a
Please.
favour. That's fine.
Please, that's why I was going to use the word favor
That's
because
fine.
it's hard for us to get to it, and that's why
no,
we're
that's
here.
fine. I don't mind doing the chasing.
Now, thank you. That's what's in my head to use the word
I thought you wanted
favor.
to be in the loop. That's all.
That's
fine. That's no problem at all.
No, this is you must understand our frustration, but I perfectly understand what I'm saying, and I'm thankful for doing that for me to actually because it's like we came in. One lady says, "I'm tired. I can't speak no more." And it's hard to hear saying that we're in reception here because now I can put myself in a suit. We could. For your phone all day, you're on the phone to this agency, you're on the phone to council, you're on the phone to this, you're just constantly talking. So it's kind of frustrating sometimes when the lady says, just me with my suitcase, I can't speak no more.
Yeah.
So if we can, that'll be easy for
no
us.
Problem.
Thank you.
And then you'll have my direct contact details.
Thank you.
You haven't got to go through.
It's really appreciated when I can see we're somewhere. It put actually joy and smile on our face and see our kids can breathe. We live in a back-to-back pool. If I have to take you to our house here, you say let's move. No, I do apologize. I'm not apologizing for what we are frustrated. We're in here. That's human nature.
Yeah.
You can see all over the world. When we get here, human being, you can see it.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm saying, we live in. Council have to force our landlord. We have no window on top. Now, no air coming in. It's back to back. No air coming in our house. If we spend the day outside. We homeschool our kids ourselves. We spend in the park. We can sort evidences that because the business are hot.
Yeah.
So for you to actually say, it's really appreciated.
No. So yeah, I'll send you that email.
So how many people are in Band A Plus?
Not very many.
There's literally a handful.
Those that are requiring a 7-bed or 6-bed?
No,
They'll probably be only you.
not necessarily. That, it's not just.
Wait, do you have that there? Because you must have that there.
That you
The
needed
numbers.
six.
No. That it's definitely us that are at the top. We're the only Band A Plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can put that in the email.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Thank you. I appreciate that I tried to see if we're somewhere because before we even come here, we in Leicester, we're in a council for years.
Yeah.
So really, and we decided to come back to this where my wife come from, where my family live, and then to see where we are today. I mean,
did you kind of move into this property from Leicester?
Yeah.
Did you find it, move in, yeah.
Yes, it would be happy to say, it's nice to see that we can see a light at the tunnel. From today, and that's why we're on, and the support we're having behind it, telling us to keep going because in the day you should be house.
Plus, the house that we were living in was in such a poor condition.
The one.
The actual ground was caving in because water's been leaking for years, so it's not something.
The house is actually. I was going to actually phone council but when we do that, we're actually going to be homeless because the house will actually be so a little bit close. So we have to go out.
Yeah.
So
close it down. From what you're saying.
So I didn't want to call council. So I said we decided to come back.
Have you been in touch kind of like the environmental health side then, or are you waiting?
We did, but he only came to do the basic jobs. But then after that, we just thought we need to get out of here because.
No, we decided to leave the house. We tried to fix it. We spend money in the house, which is not ours. But
you had rats running in from outside.
Because what happened? There was a hole from the back when the water was going underground. So over the years, that hole got bigger. So the house sinking in. So we have to actually make this move.
They will, you know, when you leave, we'll probably go round. And it'll probably be closed down.
No, it's not council. It's not council.
No,
private.
We've been a private rented.
We have a private rented kind of environmental health department.
Yeah, we are.
What you're saying, obviously, you're in a catch-22. If you report it, they'll probably close it down and you're homeless.
Yes.
But when you move, I think it's something that needs addressing.
Yeah, because we spoke to someone that actually put us. That's why we didn't go with that rule. Because if you report it, it comes straight. So then we leave us with our kids in school, and so everything messy. So we have to kind of find a way here.
But from our point of view, from what you're saying, there's going to be people that are in desperate situation and will take that property. But obviously they'll be living in substandard conditions. Like you guys happen to.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, we know that, but each way is 7 times that today because we all try to survive. So when I was in it, we tried to. I mean, when he refused to send work, like when the boiler blow off, he didn't want to put the boiler in. We have to go to council and.
No, we had to go and get water because we couldn't turn the tap on or anything like that.
Yeah, before that, because he doesn't want to do the work, he just want to fit that boiler. So.
No, you wanted the free boiler from the council for us to fit in, and then told us we're gonna have to wait. Then if you're not gonna do that.
So and then we have to actually phone council, and that's the time he actually take a step in to start doing the work. Because council, for some that council will just come and do the work when the house is leaking. We call a council on him in there, and the council come and do the work for him. They bill him. So I think he doesn't like that because that council will charge the money and that, and then he has to. But we left that now.
The sooner you can get out, the better.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to see that there's a lot of tunnel, but if you could have all this in writing, so it doesn't become a
to the email address today, then you've got my direct contact detail. I work in the office of 3-4 days a week, so just let me know if you want to come in again. And I'll make sure it's
So when are we looking to hear about this property?
Well, we'll chase it up today.
So we're going to get some.
So when we're going to receive the email from yourself?
You'll receive the email from me today. Whether they've got back to me by the time I email everything we talked about, I don't know. But as soon as I hear from them, I'll email you about when they're talking date-wise.
So if we haven't had anything from you, not because we disbelieve what you're saying, just because of the route we are on.
Yeah.
So I mean, the trust come by knowing.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you there tomorrow probably.
Well, I mean.
And you'll be even more frustrated.
Well, I hope no. I hope no. I hope we don't have to come back here again. I would just love to leave it here and we communicate on phone and everything's fine. And I come phone and say, Phil, thank you. If I see you on the street or whatever, the small one, I say thank you.
Yeah.
You know.
Are you in tomorrow as well then? Are you in every day of the week?
I am.
Okay.
I am. If at any time that you need to speak to me, I'm in, and I'm always the duty manager that she is.
I have a couple of days a week, and I have to work from home with him. So they've kind of changed it, but every Monday, every Tuesday, I'm in, and then 1 or 2 other days a week. So most of the week, I'm in. But
where's your direct details? I don't know where. Can you write them down?
Email, but I can write them down for you.
Yeah, please, yeah.
Can you just get my phone number, Kelly?
Yeah. I love the names of your children. Yeah.
What's the first name?
I quite like Cleo. I really do like that name.
Oh, Cleo, so like that's where she picked that.
Who picks all the names?
Well, I have somebody see the.
You're a bit overrun with daughters, though, aren't you, mate?
Oh yeah. I know. But I prefer because I never see like girls until I have 4 girls. So I didn't even bother to have any more boys. The ones I don't have.
Boris is up there now, isn't he? He's
How
on
much he
number
got?
7.
Oh yeah, he got 7. But not to this one.
She's expecting again, isn't she?
No, this will be number 7, so he's up there. So we're not strange.
No.
Oh no, but he's got with a different one, so is it?
Yeah, 3 wives. This is his 3rd wife. Yeah.
But it is.
But there's the family that's 22 kids in there.
Oh yes, he follows
the
them.
Radford.
The Duggars, the Radford
They've
family.
got the
as well.
Radford family as well. They're
But in anything that I know, because Iris, this actually in this people this a long time, but Iris carried on for a while.
yeah.
Because Bridie, I know a lady called Bridie. She was one of 12.
Yeah, my parents, my mum's the youngest of 13, and my dad's one of the middle ones of 13.
How many do you have?
I'll have to.
But Irish people, I mean, they only come out, English people come out.
But my uncles, all of my uncles are like, we've got 13 or 14 children between them.
But you
not all to the same women, let me tell you.
but what's the biggest gift you can have more than life, a human being? Because
Yeah.
there's no intelligence over us in this globe.
Yeah.
So, you know, we chose the life we
Yeah. But I really I do love the names.
It is a
I
nice
don't know how you remember them all, but I only have 2 and get them 2 mixed up.
It is easy, but it is easy for the girls. I prefer to have more girls, no more boys. I'm a man myself. I can say in a twice, they don't know us, but I'm anti-man.
I'm surprised you're not grey.
I was saying in a twice, don't
I'm very sorry about last week.
No, it's
That's mad.
Okay.
It is fine, because
It's not good.
this way the end of time you can feel it.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Alright, cheers. Thanks a lot.
Here are the corresponding email sent and received following the meeting. Now stay tuned for upcoming video where you will start to see other managers contradicting themselves and placing a lie about the property in question. Don't know why. Thanks for watching.